You are watching and listening to Stuck in With Podcast, a platform for entrepreneurs, innovators, creatives of African descent. Here's stories, ideas, experiences, and advice on breaking barriers. This episode is brought to you by our online store. Your support means a lot. Please visit sitmpodcast.com and shop SITM merch. Thank you all returning listeners or watchers. If this is your first time checking out Stuck in the Middle, welcome. Please let us know what you think about Stuck in the Middle by subscribing. Click on that link down there. Yeah, subscribe. Follow us on all social platforms at SITM Podcast. Join the conversations. Read our blog post. Again, visit the website, sitmpodcast.com. Comment. Your comment means a lot to us. Subscribing to, our podcast means a lot to us. So click on that link again down here below to get weekly episodes. Yep. Today, I have a very lovely guest in the building. Why I keep saying in the building, man? This is Zoom time. A very lovely guest on Zoom. She's a chef. They say a way to a man's heart is to his stomach. Pretty sure a way to a woman's heart is to her stomach to these days, man. Because a lot of women eat, especially during brunch, man. I've been out during brunch and I've seen women eat. I'm like, bruh, y'all could eat, man. Why y'all eat so much? But anyways, we're gonna get into it. She's the founder of Seasoned by Joe. Homemade, healthy, delicious recipes. She goes by Chef Joe, but her government name, we're going to give you guys a government name for all you guys who want to, DM her. We don't know about that, but we'll find out towards the end of this episode. But anyways, please, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chef Jonee. Love to Stuck in the Podcast. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. So Jonee is my government name, but Seasoned by Joe is what I created, and I go by Chef Joe for those that know me. So thank you for having me.
Oh man, I want to start it this way, right? I want to break the ice like this. Let's say you were a top chef at a dope 5-star establishment, right? How would you punish a customer who orders a 3-course meal 15 minutes before close time?
Oh, you just have to chef it up. I mean, customer comes first.
Man, that's they always say customer come first, but
always.
Please, is there a time when the customer does not come first?
I mean, not really. I feel like in the restaurant, I don't personally own a restaurant, but I feel like in the restaurant business, when it comes to customer service, they have to come first, unless they're doing something like totally inappropriate at that point. But I think most restaurants have like a cutoff time when it comes to ordering. So most places will say unfortunately we've hit that time, but you don't want to turn anyone away either. Because then you kind of look like the bad person. Right.
Man, let's keep all of that. Let's get to the, to the flesh of this. Who is Chef Joe?
So I'm a chef at night, I guess. I'm a recruiter by day. I actually hire people. So I've been in recruiting for 6 years. And then last year I decided to start an Instagram page and just start posting my recipes because everybody was replying to my main page, just saying like, oh, what's that? What are those ingredients? You should start a blog. You should start a cookbook. So started off small with just the Instagram. And then my followers really started to build up when we went on lockdown in March because everybody was at home. So we started cooking, and then I gained probably like 600 followers in that 2 months. I was featured on Afro Tech for top Black chefs, using their digital platform for cooking. And so that's Seasoned by Joe. I post a lot of healthy things. Some are not so healthy. And I really love Trader Joe's. I'm not sponsored by them, but they should sponsor me.
Yeah, they should, man. Cause it's boldly written right there in your profile too.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's pretty much who I am. I would love to go full time with cooking. I've done a catering service here and there, but I'm not really big on the whole catering thing. But my biggest goal would probably be to come out with a cookbook and maybe open up like a small establishment one day. But baby steps.
You're talking about your biggest, isn't this your biggest already? For some people living quarantine, right? If you ask them, what is one thing that I've done during, that quarantine, that 3-month period that we're on lockdown? What's one thing that I actually could say, I accomplished? To you, this is it, right?
Yeah, no. And I mean, being featured with Afro Tech, I didn't even know that they knew who I was. And the chefs that I was featured with, they have I have maybe, I think 1,200 followers. the people that I was featured with have like 10, 20, 30,000 plus followers, much bigger chefs than I am. So for them to narrow it down to 6 was amazing. So that really like upped my followers and my engagement. So I would say that that's a big accomplishment so far.
Right. You mentioned earlier about your IG page, man. All a person needs to do, right, is just visit your Seasoned by Joe IG page to see the incredible works that you do. Where and how were you trained to make such amazing meals, man? Because, listen, I don't want to be hungry and land on your page. It's a no-no. You know what I mean?
It's definitely family. Starting from my grandmother to my aunts, my mom. I have 6 aunts, so they're always throwing down. We get together every Sunday. So I really just watched them over the years growing up. And my dad also cooks a lot too. So I kind of just started watching them. And then I actually wasn't a big cook in college. I was kind of the one that was like getting Chipotle every night and not really cooking anything and spending money on eating out. But when you graduate and reality hits you and you got to actually pay bills, you buy groceries.
Yeah, that's facts, man. Like when I moved out, when I moved out, got on my own. I mean, not having my mom or my sisters around me, I had to learn the essence of cooking, like actual chefing, because all the extra stuff makes your belly heavy or makes your pocket empty, stuff like that. But this is not about me, right? It's about you. What's your story? Like, why did you decide to become a chef? Like most people want to become an engineer. I mean, by day, yes, you do recruit people, but if you had an opportunity to go full time with chefing, I'm sure you would do it. So why did you decide to become a chef other than just looking at moms and chefing in the kitchen and all that?
I would say it's something that I just enjoy. It's almost like therapy. Like when I'm in the kitchen, nothing else matters. That's how I feel when I'm cooking. So that's really why I started to, and just, being able to give people cooking tips and the engagement I was getting on social media just made me feel good. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll see where this goes. So that's kind of how, that all started. But I would say that's probably the biggest thing.
How would you describe your style of cooking?
My style of cooking. I mean, for the most part, clean, healthy, for the most part. Now, during quarantine, when we were really on lockdown, I was cooking reckless, like
you were wild.
carbs and mac and cheese, everything you can imagine that you would possibly gain weight from. I wouldn't say that was really clean and healthy, and I try to make my cooking fun and engaging. So, that's probably, I guess those are some words I would use to describe it.
Where were you born?
So I'm actually from the DMV. I just say the DMV because I was born in Upper Marlboro, so PG County. And then I lived away for a couple years in Michigan. And then when we moved back, we moved to Northern Virginia. And then I went to Hampton. So I'm really like a DMV girl, I guess you could say.
What part of Michigan?
Novi. It's a small city like right outside of Detroit. No one really knows about it. And then I lived in New Orleans for a year. So that's when my love for cooking really was like, that was a great experience because the whole city is based on food.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I can see where that chefing thing came from. How many siblings do you have? What college you go to? Is your DMs open? These are questions that people want to know. It's not questions I wrote.
Wait, what was the last question?
Are your DMs open? It's questions people want to know. It's not questions I wrote. For real.
So I have an older brother. He is, once they turn 30, you kind of lose track. I think he's 33. He's 4 years older than me. So I'll be 30 in January. But I went to Hampton University. So shout out to Hampton Pirates, the real HU. And are my DMs open? My DMs are open.
Okay. Don't start no HU wars on here now. Don't start no HU wars on here. Shout out to all the HUs.
I had to do it.
Earlier you were talking about, you lived in New Orleans for a year, right? You have such a strong love for that city. I know you spent a year living there. What is it like that draws you to that city? What is, other than the food, what else, and the culture, what else is it that, captivates you to that city?
And I know everyone says the culture, but like you a lot of people think New Orleans is just like party, party, drink, never sleep. But once you move down there and you experience the people and like that Southern hospitality, it makes you never want to leave. And the only reason I left was because I got a job opportunity back here. Better, just more money, better opportunity. But if I could go back to New Orleans tomorrow, I would. It was just the culture, the history is like no other. The food is amazing. And everything's so cheap. So I really just grew to love it. I mean, I had never moved away like that. So it was hard the first few months. I didn't know anybody. I had never even been to the city before. And after probably halfway through the year, I just fell in love with it.
Right.
So I miss it every day.
Isn't the beauty of a place not being able to not knowing anybody there, right? And actually starting from scratch and just learning and learning and learning.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. No one really knows who you are. They don't know anything about you.
Right.
But I mean, there were so many times where I would go out to eat and sit at a bar and someone's going to talk to you. So you don't feel like you're out of place. And then when they find out that you just moved there, they're like, oh, shots on me. Like everyone is just so friendly and welcoming down there. It's a great city. I would recommend anyone to move there. So.
Man, that's great. How do you test the quality of your ingredients?
Of my?
Ingredients. Like the food, like the ingredients you use to cook the food and all that.
Oh, the ingredients. How do I test the quality? Well, that's one good point you say. Like when you're cooking, make sure you taste your food. Don't just follow step-by-step ingredients and just assume that it's going to taste good. So that's the only way you're going to learn. So there's been a ton of recipes over the years that I've done where I'm like, that didn't turn out good, didn't taste good, or it was really good. But I think brand does matter. Like salt and pepper, it's fine if you get like an off-brand, if you get like a Kirkland, Costco brand. But there are certain seasonings that I feel like matter, and it's going to depend on like your taste and your taste palette. And that's actually one thing I've thought about coming up with too, is like my own seasoning, just so because I know what I like, and then I can sell it to people. So, but yeah.
And you're dropping a lot of germ on here, man. Like these are things that people go, oh man, I'm not trying to let people know what I'm trying to do. Like it's something that, somebody else hasn't already done yet before, you know what I mean? Type of stuff. Like you just saying it like, oh man, I don't care if you guys take it and do it. Like, how did you come up with that mentality?
Honestly, I haven't been this motivated since, it's been a while. I think it's because I'm stuck in the house. Besides going to the grocery store, we've all been home. And I feel like if you're not using this time to like really use your creative juices and think about like, okay, what's next? Then I don't really know what else. I mean, some people aren't handling this well. There's some people mentally that aren't, but like, I just think it's so important to use this time to figure out like, how can I boss up? And so I follow a lot of bloggers, a lot of chefs, and they're so inspiring. So that's kind of where it led me to. Gotcha.
When are you your happiest at work?
My happiest at work?
Yeah. Oh, chefing, like stuff.
I was going to say, which job? My full time?
We're talking about chefing, okay?
Yes. My happiest, just anytime I'm in the kitchen, pour a glass of wine and I start cooking, and it's just play some music, and that's it. That's all I need. Nothing else matters. Like I could have the worst day, and
so that process is therapeutic for you.
Yes, it is.
At what point did you realize that that's it for you? Like that's that comforting thing to do, right? Say, even if the world is turning inside out right now, doing that is going to give you that peace of mind, that relaxation and all that.
I think when I was featured as the top chef for a digital platform, I think that's when it hit, because I was feeling a little discouraged. I was like, I don't have that many followers. I was looking at everyone else's page and comparing, and then literally that next day I get a DM and they're like, you've been featured on Afrotech. I'm like, what? This is crazy. So that was kind of like, it kind of boosted me back up and was like, okay, this is time. Like, this is my time and this is meant for me to do. So I think that's when it kind of just like clicked.
So with that motivation, with that boost, right? What were some things that you were able to go, yo, you know what, I'm gonna use this boost to knock this out, like boom, boom? What were some things that you were able to, kick off immediately with that boost?
Wait, you kind of broke up at the end to kick
Now I
off.
said, what are some things that you were able to kick off, right, with that boost? You were just able to say, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
With this hype, I'm gonna just knock this off.
Yeah, so I just started cooking even more. Like and I can't lie, I kind of fell off because it was like that time where I think we had hit like 2 months in the house and nothing was open. And it's just like, I think everyone was just like, okay, is this real? So I really wasn't like motivated to cook. I was ordering like takeout and stuff. But after that article, I just started cooking and going like ham in the kitchen, and I was posting and getting so much engagement. And then a lot more people were like responding to my stories and asking for tips. So I think I needed that extra like kick to just say like, okay.
What?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to ask you, what does a bad day in the kitchen looks like for you?
What?
A bad day in the kitchen.
A bad day in the kitchen?
Yep.
Dropping a dish. There's been times where I've been trying to like get the right angle, and I'll hold up, this is the plate, and I'm trying to like make sure, and next thing I know, the whole thing just slides on the floor.
Oh, no.
You gotta get the right lighting. And
we can't have you wasting food.
I know. But yeah, that's a bad day. Wasting food or just something, trying a new recipe, because there's I've tried some international recipes, and some of them I was like, I'm gonna leave this to my carryout. I couldn't get the spices right, or I do, and it finally turns out good. But definitely wasting food is a bad day. Or there's nothing worse than when your produce and your food goes bad. Like you've had it in there for a week, and you're like, oh, I can stir fry some green beans and whatever, and then you go in and it's completely molded.
Right.
So,
man, is there a chef you admire the most? Who and why?
Oh yes, I would have to say Aisha Curry. One, there's not many of us in the kitchen. When I say us, Black, there's not a lot of Black girls in the kitchen. And I like that she ties American and Jamaican, because she has both sides. So her cookbook has like, a combination of different recipes. So she's definitely someone I really, really like. She's so inspiring. I look up to her. And I would also say Chrissy Teigen. She just her recipes are just outstanding. So there's really no other way to explain that. Are you familiar with her, John Legend's wife? You've probably seen her.
Yeah. John Legend's wife, definitely.
Yeah.
So
those are
I know that
my top.
the name I'm not going to know, but the face definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Outside of the kitchen, right, throwing down wonderful recipes and all that, what else is Chef Joe involved in, and other than your recruiting job?
I love to work out, and that's been another way that I've been coping being in this house. I have a Peloton bike, so I make sure that I take at least 30 minutes out of my day to work out, whether it's or lifting weights, anything. Like I'm very big on just staying active, and that's probably one thing that I just really enjoy.
What does a campus recruiter do, and what journey landed you to this career path?
Campus recruiting. So I graduated in 2013 and had no idea what I wanted to do. I didn't think I wanted to be in HR. And so I actually was doing like a marketing job. And then I heard about an opportunity within the company to do recruiting. And I was like, I don't know anything about recruiting, but I'll shadow for a couple of months and see what happens. So that's kind of how I led my way into campus recruiting. I've been doing it for about 6 years now. And my main responsibility is just finding young talent and maintaining that talent, especially diverse talent, whether it's female, African American, Asian. That's one thing that I'm really big on is diversity and inclusion. And the reason I moved to New Orleans is because I was promoted and asked to move down there and open up one of our offices to hire 300 people in the first year. So that's campus recruiting involves a lot of traveling, networking, resume building, and there's so many things that involves. It's almost like sales in a way too, because you're selling a job to a campus student, and there's a lot of companies on campus that you're competing with. They might not want to work for you. They might want to work for Apple or, Deloitte or one of the big four. So, but yeah, I've been doing it for 6 years. It's a lot. I think I'm kind of at a point now where I'm like, okay, what's next?
Yeah, let this chefing thing kick off, man, because I want to be like a full-time chef, right? How do you balance your recruiting job and chefing? How do you balance that?
So, and I feel like that's kind of how I struggle with that right now because I don't want to like fall off. But then there's times where I'm just so busy, there's no way I can even like take 2 seconds to post a food picture. Now, I will say it's kind of helped me because we've been on a hire freeze at our company, which most companies have, so they're not hiring right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been kind of brought on new projects and we're not as busy, so it's kind of helped with Season by Joe. But you really just have to carve out time. Like if you're gonna do your 8 hours, you can't do happy hour with your friend after work. Like you're just gonna have to dedicate that time and figure out how to fit that into your schedule. So it hasn't been that bad because work hasn't been the same since March, and I've been at home, so it's easier to kind of take breaks and balance that. So
yeah, I'm not sure if you've been out yet recently with states opening up and all that stuff, but if you're not cooking for yourself, what are some favorite places that you like dining at, you like eating
at? So in the DMV area?
Yeah, the DMV area.
Actually, I just found out that I think they closed permanently. I really like Earl's. It's in Tyson's. Are you familiar with Tyson's area, like the mall?
Yeah.
Earl's is probably one of my like go-to happy hour spots. It's just American cuisine. I love anything Mexican, anywhere with tacos. So of course, L'Oreal Plaza. Everyone loves that place. I'm trying to think of what else. I love Italian. RPM's another good place that I would recommend. It's like real Italian food. And I'm trying to think of where else those are probably some of my top ones, but anything Mexican, it can be a hole in the wall and I'm there.
yeah, Mexican is clutch, man.
Yeah.
Definitely. You get a good amount, for your money's worth.
Yep. So those are probably some top spots.
Talk to me about, pairing wine or drink, like a margarita or Hennessy, Hennessy Cocktail or, something like that, with food. Like,
yeah. So if you're doing Italian, of course, wine, any type of wine pairs with good pasta. I prefer red over white, and I like a lighter blend when I'm doing red or a red blend in general. Hennessy, like a Hennessy cocktail, I mean, I guess you could kind of pair that with maybe some red meat, or honestly, I feel like Hennessy you could just drink with anything, anything you eat. But my favorite is there's a Hennessy drink that Del Frisco's makes. It's a Hennessy cocktail. I can't think of the name of it, but if you ever go to Del Frisco's, they make a really good one. But no, I pair wine with pastas, or if you're gonna do a red meat, definitely do red wine. Or if you're gonna do like a chicken dish, I would recommend doing a white wine, like a Pinot Grigio or anything like that. So,
man, where did you learn all this stuff, man?
Just observing. I'm not an expert on so if anyone's listening to this, I'm not an expert on pairing, drinks with stuff. I'm still learning myself, but I am a wino. I love going to wineries. And I just love learning about all that. So
you just like going and getting drunk off of wine and going home, huh? See what you were doing there now. Okay, I see you. We're at an amazing time right now when a lot of Black people are looking for credible Black-owned businesses, to spend their dollars. I don't know if you've seen that Black receipt, on the internet, or buy Black, stuff like that. What are your 3 favorite Black-owned restaurants in the DMV area right now, or some top 3 Black-owned DMV restaurants you recommend?
So, I don't want to butcher the name. It's called Naturally. It's a Black-owned like smoothie shop, and they have vegan food. It's right over here in DC. Oh my gosh.
Is it naturally? Is it turning? Does it have turning? Naturally turning something?
Yes, I feel like Turning Natural.
Yeah, Turning Natural. There you go.
Okay,
Turning
yes.
Natural. Yeah, Turning Natural.
They're really good. Now, actually, my uncle is in the restaurant business, and he owns quite a few restaurants in the DMV, more so franchises. So Matchbox, I would recommend going to. That's Black owned and on 14th Street, or there's one in Capitol Hill as well. And then another Black owned restaurant. I think Roaming Rooster is Black owned, I believe. And they have really good fried chicken sandwiches. So those are some of the ones I can think of. And it's sad because there's not that many.
Right.
And that's one thing I would, like I was saying earlier, just coming up with some sort of small, establishment, because there's not a lot of Black owned restaurants in the DMV. So.
Yeah. But while we at it, I might as well shout about, you got to check out Swahili Village. Definitely got to check out Spectrum.
Oh, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah,
is that in DC?
That's in, I think they have one in DC now, but they have one in College Park. No, not College Park, Beltsville. There you go, in Beltsville.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
They got one in Beltsville. And just right across the street from here, the Spectrum Lounge. Shout out to Valerie Holmes, and his compadres. He's been on the podcast as well, Spectrum Lounge. Definitely got to check that out. That's Black owned. There's a couple around that College Park area.
Okay.
Black owned. A couple downtown Silver Spring as well. They could check out. I heard Society was shut down. Man, hopefully
Society.
So hopefully they can
People
open
were
back
doing
up.
too much.
Hey, it's a DMV, man.
Were
People
you
get
in
locked
Society?
up. I was not in Society, man. I'm in Michigan right now, so that's I'm good on that. But Society is definitely that spot. You know what I mean? But anyways, listen, is Chef Joe's seasoning and recipes available to the public, and how can people get their hands on them?
For the seasonings?
Yeah, the seasonings, man, like the recipes.
Well, they're not. Nothing is official yet.
Oh man, you got to make this official, man.
I know. I'm asleep. All my friends are like, "What are you waiting on?" But coming soon. They're coming soon. And I will definitely be coming out with. If it's not a hard copy cookbook, it'll be digital. That's one of my goals by the end of the day. I have a lot to do, and we're already halfway through the year.
You know what? Just set that time, that time span right now, so we could hold you accountable. You know what I mean? So by the time we hit you up, we're like, "Yo, Chef Joe, man, where the recipes at? Where that book at? Where the seasoning at?" So how long? A year? 2 years? How long?
Oh no, not a year. Not 2 years. I mean, I told myself by the end of this year that I would come out with either one of those. So stay tuned.
Okay,
I'm holding myself accountable.
Definitely.
So when you guys interview me next year and I'm too famous and I'm gonna have to just schedule you.
Just don't forget about us, man. Don't forget the fact that we were on here having this humble conversation. Okay. So just give me first dibs, you know what I mean? So I could definitely have that first podcast.
Yes.
But anyways, what other big projects are you working on right now, other than the recipes and seasonings and all that?
That's really it. I've been looking into and again, this goes back to like opening up a small business. I don't want to say too much, but I've looked into possibly franchise owning or just opening my own business. That's probably the next thing, but that's a whole nother conversation. And that's a lot of work, but it's possible. And I feel like with what's going on right now in the world, if you're Black owned anything, people are going to support.
That's true.
I think this is a great time to be getting your name out there, your brand. I think it's really important to do that because even in corporate America, I've noticed that, the more we're educating non-Black people, they're starting to, they're listening more and they're like suddenly interested and they want to hear your opinions, which is great. But I think there's going to be a lot more opportunities for African Americans like throughout the next few years in corporate America as well. So, which it should have been like that, but hey.
We're just trying to get into Billy's too, man. We don't see any problem with that. Just let us get into Billy's too. Even the Millies, man. A lot of us need to be sitting in the Millies.
Yeah,
man. You got to be sitting in the Millies and the Billies, man. Got to walk around. We got to, we got to be coming in with our mask stuff to Chef Joe's corner store or Chef Joe's restaurant or Chef Joe's supermarket. One of them. One of them. It could be all of them, but at least one of them, right?
Yeah.
Is there something that, I haven't asked you or haven't covered during this podcast that you want the people to know? And why you at it? What is success to you?
So you said, what is success to me?
What does success mean to you? Yes.
It means everything. Especially, I'm 29, approaching 30, and I feel like I had so many things that I wanted to get off my bucket list by then. So that's really the answer. Success means everything. I have my family, my parents are successful. My brother's very successful. I have a lot of family members, a lot of entrepreneurs in my family. And so I have like that grind and that boss mentality surrounding me all the time. So I feel like that's what success means. It means everything.
Everything. I like that. So back to the question of, is there anything that we haven't covered that you would like the people to know?
Oh, that we haven't covered. I mean, don't be afraid to chef it up in the kitchen. I feel like some people are so intimidated and they don't know where to start. I feel like it's so easy to just do a simple recipe. And one thing that I try to post on my page is like a 5 ingredients or less. Like tonight I did a stir fry, and stir fry is so easy. You can chop up protein, or if you don't eat meat, then you could do tofu or something, but veggies, onions, stir fry salt, it's so easy. So I feel like just don't be intimidated when it comes to getting in the kitchen. A lot of people just don't know where to start. But cooking really is not that hard. I think people just need to attempt it and try a couple times, and you'll be a pro from there.
Hey, if I can do it, you can do it, okay? Hey, Chef Joe, I appreciate you. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you connecting with us, coming on here, sharing your stories and all that. Keep doing your thing, keep grinding. Hopefully, we see you by the end of this year, with your seasonings and recipes and all that stuff. Definitely got to include some African foods into your menu. Definitely, hopefully.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah. I need some tips. I don't want to mess anything up.
Hey, listen, man, I don't know if you got to date some African man or you got to find you an African chef to teach you. I don't care, man. Yeah. Just put some African recipes on the tube, man. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Make that page, Yeah.
That would be next. I'll do some. I'm gonna have someone teach me some things. I have a couple of friends that I could ask their mom, because they don't really know how to cook, but they have moms that be throwing down in the kitchen. So.
Oh, while you at it, just drag them along with you. I'm just kidding, please. Don't come for me. Anyways, hey, listen, I appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you so much.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Oh, by the way, how can people connect with you? Give them your socials.
Yes.
Since they can slide
follow
your DMs.
at Seasoned by Joe, and then my personal page is at Jonee, Joe_Neezy. So follow me on those pages. Most of my cooking is gonna be on Seasoned by Joe.
Y'all heard the woman.
Follow me.
By Joe, Jonee. Go follow her, man. What are you waiting for? You don't like seeing amazing food? Just go follow her. Like her. Catering. What about catering? Are they?
I do anything 10 people or less. Nothing bigger than 10 people. I get very overwhelmed after 10. So they would just, if you can send me a DM, or I'm sorry, also, hello, I have a website. I totally forgot to even mention that. So seasonedbyjoe.com. You can send me an inquiry there, or you can email me seasonedbyjoe@gmail.com. If you have, now I know with COVID, things are a little weird. So it's probably best that we do 10 or less. But yeah, just inquire, and I have some prices and things I can send over.
Oh, sounds good. Sounds great. Listen, when next time in DMV, definitely, check out the food. I love food myself. I love to eat, and I eat heavy too. So, definitely going to check it out with my peeps. Appreciate you again. Thank you. You've been watching and listening to Stuck in My Podcast. Thank you for rocking with us. Check out our blogs. Check out our website, sitmpodcast.com. We have the blog section. We have, you can check out our guests on there. You can connect. You can see everything they're doing and all that stuff. Man, just go to the website. Everything is on there. We don't need to shout out anything. The social links are on it. The email is on there. Everything you need is on there. Okay? Anyways, today's guest was Chef Joe. Check out her page. Everything is going to be the footnote. Appreciate you. Shout out to Everybody out there, hope you're being safe. Keep washing your hands. Wear your mask. Please, please, please wear your mask.
Yes, wear a mask.
Yeah. This is a Stuck in the Middle podcast, and we are